Namaste. My name is Bob Smith, and this is Yoga for Beginners, routine number 5. Please join Ki and myself on your hands and knees. We're going to begin with cat-cow, hands under the shoulders, knees under the hips. Exhale, round the back, cat. Inhale, belly sinks, cow. Exhale, round the low, middle, upper back into the neck, chin in. Inhale, pelvis tips, low ribs drop, shoulder blades drop. Exhale, round into cat, rounding through. Inhale, down. So we're moving a little faster now. Exhale, round, low, middle, upper back through to the neck. Inhale, down, low, middle, upper back through to the neck arched. Exhale, round through. Inhale, and then come forward into cobra. Your elbows could bend some. Lift out. It's a low back movement. Lift back to dog from cobra. The main action in down dog is to hike the pelvis up, to lift the low belly, lift the sitting bones. Then from there, come down to the knees and swing forward towards the cobra. As you swing forward, pull out with your low ribs. Move through like a cobra might, a snake might. Lift to down dog from cobra. Bend your knees some as you lift the low belly and open the shoulders, broaden that top shoulder blade area, then push through one heel of foot, then down to the knees and lean forward into the cobra, rolling the shoulders back down, lengthening the neck, the front and the back of the neck like a cobra snake. From cobra, lift back up to dog. The lift is from the sitting bones, low belly lifting, broaden the shoulders, and we'll finish the movement. Come to standing position, ground down in mountain pose, and we will begin with sun salutations. Open your arms upwards, lift upper belly, lift low ribs, shoulder blades down the back, lengthen the neck, the back side, the front side. One more breath, lift up, open back, and then fold forward, bending your knees some. As you fold forward, we want the low back long. And so pull out with your low rib cage, knees could bend slightly, chest opens, chin in very slightly. So my angle that you see is a little better for you, probably lengthen, and then the left knee back on the ground with the left knee. Push off the right knee with your right hand. The left thumb can push off the sacrum, lift low rib cage. Lengthen as you arch back slightly. It's a left quad stretch. And then from the quad stretch, take your hands forward around that right foot, lift the right foot back. Down dog, we've practiced this. Push through one heel of foot as you bend the opposite knee. Push through the second heel of foot as you bend the second knee. Lift both sides of the low belly, open the shoulders, and then finish down dog. Down onto the knees, swing forward through into cobra. As you come through to cobra, you've warmed the back up with the previous cobras. Lift low ribs as you inhale. Exhale, reestablish that lift. Inhale, lengthen. Exhale, relift from cobra. Lift up to the down dog position. Down dog, lift the sitting bones. Low belly lifting. Broaden that top shoulder blade area. Knees can be slightly bent. And one more breath, open as you exhale in the down dog. And then swing your left foot, left knee forward, left foot between the hands. Right knee comes down onto the ground. Left hand on the thigh. Push off the sacrum with your right thumb. Lift low rib cage. Roll the shoulders back down in this quadricep stretch. Easy version of warrior. And then from that quad stretch, hands forward. Pick the back leg up. Front leg next to the front. Open the low back, open the hamstrings, lengthen the low back as you open the hamstrings, and exhale, inhale steady, exhale lengthen, and then finish the forward bend. Bend your knees, come up, your torso comes up, your arms come up. Exhale, relift the low rib cage, top shoulder blade area settles down the back, neck lengthens, low back. We need to lift the low ribs vertically. And then hands down prayer. There's our first round of sun salutation. Second round. Show a different angle. Inhale, it's about 3 breaths per position. Exhale, lifting into the standing back bend. Inhale, steady. Exhale, relift and open. One more, inhale, steady. Exhale, open back. And then fold forward, knees bend slightly into the forward bend. Inhale, hands onto the ankles. Exhale, re-pull out low ribs, lengthen the low back, and start to stretch the hamstrings. Another breath, inhale, lengthen. Exhale, lengthen, opening the low back and the hamstrings, chin in slightly. Then inhale, right leg back, 4 feet or so back. Warrior, bend the back knee slightly. Open the front knee, arms come up. Exhale into the warrior position. Shoulder blades down the back, upper belly strong. Hips opening slightly. One more breath, inhale, warrior. Exhale, spread through. And then the hands forward. Next to the front foot, left foot back. Down dog, hike the pelvis up. Lift low belly. Broaden the top shoulder blade area. Open the hamstrings. Another breath in dog. Exhale, broadening the top shoulder blade area as you lift the low belly and open the calves and the hamstrings. And then finish the down dog. Come down onto the knees, swing forward to the cobra. Inhale. Exhale, re-pull out into the cobra position. Make sure your low back's long enough as you're breathing slow. One more breath, inhale. Exhale, the shoulders roll back down, the neck lengthens, the front and the back of the neck. And then from cobra, lift back up to the down dog. Lift sitting bones, lift low belly, broaden that top shoulder blade area. Open the shoulders, open the deltoid muscles of the shoulder cap. And then from down dog, swing your right foot forward, right foot between the hands. The back knee, left knee bends a little bit, torso comes up. Open that right hip slightly, find the balance, and then arms up and back. Exhale in warrior position, upper belly strong as the shoulder blades draw down the back and the arms come back. Pelvis neutral, and then hands forward, finishing warrior, swinging into the forward bend. Exhale, holding the ankles, lift the low belly, open the low back, open the hamstrings. Inhale. And exhale and stretch through. And then bend your knees and come out of the forward bend into standing back bend. Chin in slightly as you open your arms up, back. Exhale, relift as you open back. Inhale, steady. Exhale, grounding through both legs, opening back. And then finish in prayer, namaste position. That will finish it for our sun salutations for now. And we will move on to some one-legged balances. Shift your weight into the left leg. Bring your right foot up, tree pose. Wrapping the outer left hip around, that left knee could bend slightly. The pelvis drops down over the foot, over the left foot. Right hip opens, arms can come up, or the hands could come down by the pelvis and help the pelvis to drop down. Tree pose. Your standing leg is strong like a tree, and then out of the first side and shift a little bit. Second side. Shift over to the right foot. You'll take your left foot up to the inner right knee or higher. As you stand through the right leg, wrap that outer right hip open a little bit, ground down through the right leg, and then lift your arms, find the grounding of the right leg, rooting down, the leg itself like the trunk of the tree, and the arms like the branches, reaching up for the light. Find yourself in tree position, and then out slowly. As you come out, we'll go into a twisted version of the tree, standing through the left leg, the left knee bent slightly. Take your right foot forward to the inner left knee, right knee straight forward, left hand comes across. As you turn back right, keep the pelvis steady. So the turn is the torso, the low ribs lifting and turning back right. The gaze turns some to the right, fixing at certain points and then turning a little bit more. The key is the left hip not to move as the torso turns back right, and then come out of that first direction of the twist. Shift onto the right leg and find stability through that right leg. The left foot comes up to the inner right knee. Right hand across to the outer left knee. You turn back left with the torso, the low ribs. Eye gaze turns to the left, fixing on various points along the way. Stabilize the right hip so the hips don't turn, the ribs do turn. up and back, stabilizing that right leg. The challenge is on the right outer hip. And then come out of there, move the hips a little side to side. Next we're going to come into the Garuda pose, bending that left leg, wrap that right leg up and around. Ideally the right foot comes behind the left calf. Your left elbow's on top, the right elbow underneath. The right fingers to the palm of the left hand. Lower the pelvis, open the left knee as you lower. The torso is neutral. Left knee opening, you're hinging at the hip and the knee joint. And then slowly come out. It's obviously a balance challenge, and we'll show it from a different angle on the second side. Garuda to the right, bending your right knee slightly, wrap that left hip up and around, the left foot behind the right calf. It's your left elbow underneath, the right elbow on top. Left fingers go to the palm of the right hand. Lower the pelvis. You can see the angles here now. The hip joint hinges. The right knee joint hinges as you fold. The torso is long and neutral. And then come out of Garuda position. Spread your feet. Slow horse into Ichiro, where you push off of the left thigh, twist right. Push off right thigh, twist left. Torso's coming straight between the knees. Push off the one thigh, then push off the other. And then come down into the low horse. The feet are turned out 45 degrees. You're wedging your elbows to the inner knees, wedging that inner thigh area open, stretching. Back is flat, chin in slightly. You can see the back at approximately parallel to the floor angle. Now you could challenge yourself by taking the arms straight out. This is challenging for the inner thighs. You could keep your elbows to the inner knees the whole while. And then we'll come up. As we come up, we're going to go through some of the classic standing positions, starting with the extended side angle to the left. With your legs wider than a leg distance apart, bend the left knee, open the left knee, your left forearm's pushing that left thigh open, your left foot's open 90 degrees, and then reach through that right arm up and out through the right side. So the right hip is rolling back open, the right leg, the right waistline, the right arm, one straight line, rolling back right. Left arm is helping to open that left hip. As you exhale, roll back right, lengthening through. Inhale, steady. Exhale, stretch through the right side, opening both hips, rolling the right knee open, the right ribcage open, and then come up out of that side of the extended side angle. And we'll shift over to the second side of the extended side angle. Bend your right knee. The right foot's turned out 90 degrees, and then you're using your right arm to push that right thigh open. Eventually the right hand down to the ankle. Left thigh is rolling open, left rib cage rolling open, and then the left arm, reach it up over the left ear. The whole left side is opening. Left leg, left waistline, left arm, one straight line. The chin is in slightly. Reach through on the inhale, reach through on the exhale. The exhale is when you make the most progress. Inhale, steady. Exhale, open that left side, using the right side to wedge the right hip open. Breathing through as you exhale. And then come out of the extended side angle to the left. And walk your way over to the left side. So from midline we've gone left now. We're going to go extended side angle, crossed over to the left. Bending your left knee towards 90. Your right elbow comes across. As you come across with the right elbow, you're turning the torso. Left hand's on the left hip, opening that left hip. Left knee's pushing out. The right thigh, keep it strong. Right low belly, strong back. Right heel of foot stays planted back, pushing back through the inner right heel of foot, even though the heel's off the ground. It's a tremendous stretch through the right low back, both sides of the low back. And then come out of the twist and take it to the other side. Walk your way over to the right. The left heel of the foot is off the ground. You're coming across with the left elbow. As you come across with the left elbow, the right knee pushes out, the left elbow holds in. There's a dynamic tension against there. Your low back is what moves. Push through the back heel of foot, the base of the big toe, strong through the left leg. Reach to the left side as you turn right. Inhale, steady. Exhale, turning. Right knee out left arm holds in, your low back is what moves. Reach through and then finish the extended side angle, crossed over. Come in with your feet, heels, toes. And then rest in a forward bend for a couple, 3 breaths. And then slowly come up out of the forward bend. And we're going to do a standing camel. The feet planted under the pelvis. Drop the sacrum down forward. Lift low rib cage. You can see the key is you lifting of the lower ribs. The thumbs can push off the sacrum initially, then go down the inner thighs. Upper belly vertically lifting up. Then the low ribs come with it, and then some could go back like keys a little further. Neck and low back, 2 key places to make sure you're long enough in the low back on the back side, long enough on the neck as you're arching back. Upper belly strong, and then come out of the standing camel. Spread your feet a little, and then fold forward. Shift one hip, lift the other. Let your low back stretch out after the standing camel. Moving and just feeling the effect of the first few minutes. Interweave your fingers in this forward bend and start to take your arms up over. For most of you, arms pretty close to the back, so your back is flat. You can see key goes up further, but each exhale re-establish the mid-back, and that's why we're interweaving our fingers to keep that mid-back working as we're in the forward bend. And then let's come up from there, and we're going to come onto our back. And as you come onto your back, we're going to do a little bit of core work. Take your right leg up and out with the left foot down. Up with the right leg, and then straighten your left leg straight down. Exhale, lower your right leg straight out, and then raise it, inhale. Exhale, lower the right leg straight out. Inhale, raise it. Exhale, lower the right leg straight out. Inhale, bend the knee, and then rotate it, hold the knee. And second side. At first your right foot's planted, left leg up, left foot's turned open. Exhale, lower that left foot straight out. Inhale, up. Then your right leg straightens. Exhale, lower your left leg straight out. Inhale, up. Exhale, lower your left leg straight out. Belly long. Inhale, up. Exhale, lower left leg straight out. Inhale, up. And then bend both legs, bring them both up, bend both knees, hold the knees, squeeze as you exhale, inhale, release, squeeze and rock a little bit. Next we're going to do both legs, turn both feet open, straighten them up and then lower them. And you choose how low. It could be 45 degrees, it could be lower like we're showing, head off barely, hair should touch. Exhale, reach it through the belly and lengthen the neck. Challenge on the neck and the belly and the legs. Another breath. Reach through and then head down and bend the knees. Bring the knees in. Hold the knees, rock. So we're working our core, working the belly, working the inner neck, legs back to vertical, toes turn out. Lower your legs. You choose how low. The low back slightly off. Raise the head slightly. Exhale, reach out. So with the low back slightly off, you're still lengthening the belly as it's working. Lengthen the neck as it's working. Each exhale, and then bend the knees and hold the knees in. Head down. Rock a little bit. Rest for a moment. And we'll do this one more time. Take your legs up and then lower them. And find that working position. Few inches or a few feet off the ground, the head barely off, reach through it, this is the low boat, the head pulled back, the legs reached out, and finish low boat and come in with the knees and rock. From low boat we're going to go to a low back twist. Straighten your right leg down, take your left knee in, your left foot on the right thigh, cross that left knee over to the right, your right hand on the outer left knee off the floor. Roll the left hip down away from the left low rib cage. Roll your ribs back left. Look back left. Lengthen the left low back and left outer hip. And then come out of that side, bring the leg in, rotate it, and then straighten. Left leg down, take your right leg in, and come across to the left with a bent right knee. Your left hand's coming across to the outer thigh, knee close to the ground, rolling that right hip away from the right low rib cage, creating space in the right low back, creating space in the outer right hip, appreciating the low back stretch of it. And then let's come out of there and take both knees in, move. Next, just rest with your knees in, wrapping your arms around the knees. Let your low back stretch out. Feel the goodness of all the yoga you've done up to this point. Extra energy through the body, mind relaxed. Next, we're going to go to bridge pose. Plant your feet by the pelvis, feet parallel. You're going to push off the ground with your feet. Lift your pelvis, lift your sacrum, and find yourself in bridge pose, a low back strengthener. Angle the sacrum toward the line of the knees. Your hands could interweave underneath the buttock, or your hands could hold the ankles. Each exhale, swing the pelvis toward the line of the knees. Now, keep showing the full back bend. Most of you stay in this bridge pose. Rock the sacrum as you exhale and pull the ribs out as you inhale. We're trying to keep the low back long in this nice back bend, and then slowly come down under your fingers, come down slowly onto your back, hold your knees and rock and feel the effect of the previous pose and the whole yoga set. Exhale, squeeze your knees, inhale, release. Exhale, squeeze the knees, inhale, release. We're going further into back bends with the next pose, locust pose. Roll over onto your belly and straighten your legs behind you. Arms down by the hips. And then once you find your comfort level there, then raise the sacrum a little bit and raise your legs. And so as your legs raise, they're fairly straight. It's not a lock straight, but you're reaching through, probably through the heels of the feet or just gently through the toes. It's the low back that's working. And arms can stay by the waistline, or they could move a little bit like you see in Key's case. It's low back work. Working those multifidi muscles in the low back, strengthening them, and then out of it slowly. And move a little bit side to side with your pelvis. Let your low back ease out. We're going to do locust again. And so set it up for a second time. Raise your legs and the head. Locust is a strengthener for the whole back side of the body. So you're raising your legs, breathe. You're working your exhales. You can see arm positions can vary by taking them out and then forward. But main thing is to work your low back. Find the belly on the front side. There's another hand position that I'm showing just to interweave your fingers. Okay, on and down, and then work side to side, easing your low back out after the locusts. Then we're going to try bow pose. Bend your knees and take your feet in by the buttock. Push down into the buttock, and then hold the ankles and flex the heels of the feet and pull the feet back. Pull back with your legs. Try to open the front side by pulling back with your feet. Inhale and exhale and pull back more. It's a challenge to get a lift off the ground, but with strength in the back muscles, you can do this bow pose. And then come out of it slowly, and from there come onto prayer position. Swing your hips up back. Let your low back stretch out. Let your arms stretch out. Your arms forward in prayer position, head gently resting onto the ground. So the locust has worked our back muscles, and they're stronger now. Now let's move on to a different kind of posture. Next, we're going to work with seated twists. Take your legs straight out, and then with the right leg straight out, cross your left foot across. Now, most of you will bend the right knee, and that right foot will go to the outside of the left buttock. The straight leg position is just an easier position. Now, drop that left sitting bone down. You can see I've come across with the right arm, elbows come across in Key's case. And so somehow keep that right shoulder blade back as you're dropping the left sitting bone and turning back left. So on the inhale, you're steady. On the exhale, pushing out with that left hip, left thigh. Arm holds in. You lift the torso and turn into the mid-upper back. Neck stays long. It's a stretch for the left low back and left outer hip. From this seated twist, bring that left leg across so the left foot and the right foot are equidistant from the buttock, and then you're leaning forward. Now, of course, it's a stretch through the outer hips, and the knees need to be okay with it. So it's cow face. And then come out of the cow face position, and other side for the twist. Left leg straight, right leg comes across, or the left knee is bent in most cases with that left foot to the outside of the right buttock. You can see the hand can come underneath the knee. That's the beginner's position. Elbow across, or the inside of the elbow to the outside of the knee. Now drop that right sitting bone, lift the ribs and turn back right. The right sitting bone is dropping, the lower ribs lifting. You're finding the leverage angle with that arm. The right thigh pushes out against the arm, the lower ribs lift. Typically the right-hander has a harder time turning back right, and we need the twist. And then come out slowly and try the cow face to the second side with that right leg wrapping back, the right foot and the left foot end up to the outside of the buttock, and then you're leaning over, making sure the knee's okay with the position. It's especially the top outer hip. It could be the underneath outer hip. Either case, allow the stretch to happen and then come out of it slowly and feel the impact of that. Now we're going to go to widespread forward bends, and I'm showing with a strap if you need a strap. So spread your legs not as wide as possible, but leg distance apart or more, and if you're flexible, wider. And then let's go, we'll talk the way I'm going. We'll go over the right leg, so the left hand comes to the foot or the strap, and Key's just a mirror image. The torso turns slightly to the right. As you fold over the right leg, keep your back straight. So with or without the strap, your left hand's coming across to that right foot. Pushing off the floor with the opposite hand, your lower rib cage is opening, and then come to the inside. So I've come to the inside with my right arm, and Key's the opposite. And you're turning back left. Now fit the neck in, the front leg could bend slightly, the left sitting bone off the ground slightly, reach through, and then come out of that first side. And then shift over to the second side. I'm talking you through the direction I'm going. So to the left, your right hand comes to the strap across the foot, or to the foot, or you see Key coming across further. Your left sitting bone shifting back, your low ribs are reaching out. It's a low back stretch, it's a left hamstring stretch. Keep the back long, you don't want to round the back as you're leaning forward. Allow the hamstring to open. And then, for me, coming to the inside with that left shoulder, left arm, and then the right arm comes up and over, and you can see Key going quite far in the position. Reach through that right waistline. It's a left hamstring, left inner thigh, and a right low back stretch. Reach through, fit the neck in so it's not troubled. And then come out of the side stretch and take both legs forward into the double-legged forward bend. Now a strap could be used here. Certainly the knees could be bent. And what we want is a long back as you're lengthening through into the forward bend. So double-legged forward bend. Pull out with the low ribs. Bend the knees as much as you need so the low back is not very rounded. Inhale, you're lengthening out. Exhale, you're reaching through. Yes, it's a hamstring stretch, but can you feel it in your low back? Can you keep your back long? And then to finish the forward bend, the seated forward bend, and we'll come onto our back and do a few loosening positions here. First one's going to be Garuda on your back. Bending your right leg, wrap that left leg up and around so the left foot comes behind the right calf, and then twist both knees over towards the right. It's a left low back stretch. Your right hand coming onto the crossed over knee, onto the top knee. Roll the hip down away, that left hip down away. Reach back left with your torso. So it should feel good in the low back. That's a nice stretch through the outer left hip and the left low back. Then come out of the first side, bending that left leg slightly, wrap that right leg up and around. Your left foot comes to the ground, and then you turn both knees over to the left, and your left hand goes to the right thigh. Roll the right hip down. The feet are straight down from the hips. Rolling on the exhale, roll that right hip down away. You can see Ki has found the arm position that we do in the standing Garuda. Open the right low back out as you turn back right. And then come out of that Garuda position. And just a couple more poses. Hold the knees, rock in. Let your low back stretch out. And just feel the good effect, the good impact of all the yoga. Now we're going to wind it down. Bring your soles of the feet together, your feet down about a foot from the pelvis, and open the knees out to the sides. Just allow that inner thigh stretch to happen. And then from there, come out and into corpse position. So the inner thigh stretch, just feel it now. Allow your hip joints to open, the feet to turn out. And rest deeply back into corpse position. The whole body heavy back into the floor in corpse position. Your arms heavy back. Your shoulders rolled down away from the ears. Your head heavy back, the whole body heavy back into the floor, your legs equally heavy back, pelvis, back muscles, abdominal muscles, chest muscles, shoulder, arm muscles, neck muscles, head, facial muscles, all heavy back into the floor, your whole body heavy back into the floor. Feel yourself like a big boulder rock spreading into the floor, opening into your corpse position, breathing steadily. And as you breathe steadily, contact the life force that moves through the whole of life. And then start to move your body, move, and come out of corpse position. And let's come out of corpse into cross-legged seated. Take your time. And you could do this pranayama exercise. We're contacting the life force through pranayama next. So Ujjayi exhales. Push the air from the bottom to the top out, and then Ujjayi inhale, the belly goes out. And then the ribs widen as you continue the inhale. Then you exhale, the abdominal muscles go back, helping the diaphragm to push the air out from the bottom to the top of the lungs. You maintain the length of spine. Inhale, the belly goes out. Ujjayi, contacting the prana coming in, the life force coming in, belly to the chest. And then exhaling, abdominal area, maintaining the length of spine so the life force can move through the spine as you breathe. Inhale, Ujjayi, inhale. And then the chest expands, bringing the prana in. Hold that life force within you, and then as you exhale, feel the connection as you go out with your energy. And with this, we will conclude. Take your hands together at the center of the chest and bring this life force through you as you go about your day. Namaste. Thank you for practicing yoga with us.